pages of history concealed horrors that challenge our understanding of humanity. What secrets lie beneath the surface, concealed by the veil of silence? How does the omission of these stories impact our understanding of the world? Join us in this video as we explore the top 15 most horrifying historical facts that have been hidden from classrooms. The Dancing Plague. In the quaint town of Strasbourg in 1518, something peculiar unfolded: the mysterious dancing plague. Madame Tropia, for reasons unknown, stepped out of her home and began dancing in the street. What started as a solo performance turned into a bizarre spectacle, as curious onlookers couldn't resist joining the contagious dance fever, spreading like wildfire with people twirling around the clock. As the dancing epidemic escalated, town authorities, perplexed and concerned, decided to intervene. In those days, medical practices were different, often involving unconventional treatments. They first tried hosting the afflicted in a designated building with live music, thinking the power of tunes might cure them. To their dismay, the dancing persisted undeterred. They then resorted to the age-old practice of bloodletting, but alas, this too proved ineffective. Faced with a growing crisis, the authorities hatched a drastic plan, rounding up the dancers and promptly escorting them out of the city. Miraculously, this unconventional measure seemed to work, halting the spread of the mysterious ailment. Cleopatra True Roots. Cleopatra II, the final sovereign of Egypt's ancient realm, often graces historical depictions as a captivating Egyptian queen. Contrary to this image, her lineage does not weave through Egyptian roots, but traces back to Macedonian Greek origins. Her family tree intertwines with Ptolemy, a general in the ranks of Alexander the Great, who ascended to the throne of Egypt after Alexander's demise. What renders Cleopatra uniquely intriguing is her unconventional approach to identity. Unlike her predecessors, she didn't shy away from embracing Egyptian culture, seamlessly melding her Hellenistic Greek heritage to the rich tapestry of Egyptian traditions adds complexity to her historical persona. Cleopatra's story is a fascinating exploration of how a ruler, despite her foreign lineage, wove herself into the fabric of Egyptian heritage, leaving an indelible mark on historical lineages. Partition of India and Pakistan. In the tumultuous year of 1947, the British Indian Empire underwent a seismic and violent transformation. This division was no ordinary array shift. It was a brutal cleaving along religious lines, triggering an unprecedented mass migration of people. Far from a smooth operation, the decision to carve up the subcontinent seemed rushed and poorly thought out regarding the complex realities of people living together. As hastily drawn borders materialized, panic gripped the land. Hindus, Sheiks, and Muslims, fearing entrapment on the wrong side, scrambled to traverse. The new boundaries that ensued were sheer chaos, with terrible incidents leaving behind a trail of death, between 200,000 and 2 million lives lost, and a staggering 14 million people displaced. Unraveling over 600 plots against Fidel Castro's life. Fidel Castro, the former Cuban leader, navigated a perilous existence, contending with an astonishing array of over 600 purported plots on his life. While the precise count remains a matter of debate, Castro faced diverse attempts, ranging from clandestine intelligence operations to audacious schemes. These included poison-laced food, a skin-damaging fungus on his dive suit, sniper attacks, and even a foiled attempt to detonate his podium during a speech. In a notable 1960 incident, the Central Intelligence Agency sought to eliminate him by spiking his cherished cigars with lethal botulinum toxin. Despite his vocal critique of capitalism and staunch socialist advocacy, Castro's charismatic leadership, open defiance, and unwavering support for his cause allowed him to outsmart these threats. Despite residing on various blacklists, he defied adversaries, living to the remarkable age of 90 before peacefully passing away from natural causes. Napoleon Bonaparte Height Misconception. There's a pervasive misconception about Napoleon Bonaparte, the famed French emperor, particularly regarding his height. The belief that he stood a diminutive 5'2" stems from a misinterpretation, as his height was initially measured in French feet, longer than their English counterparts. When converted to the English system, Napoleon's true height is estimated at around 5'7", surpassing the average of French men of his time. This misunderstanding was further compounded during his era by British cartoons, contributing to the enduring myth of Napoleon as a notably short figure. George Washington Dentures. George Washington's legacy surpasses his presidential prowess, emblematic as the inaugural leader of the United States. His visage, a paramount symbol of American identity, conceals a veiled chapter obscured by the sands of time, a silent struggle with his dental destiny. In the throes of adulthood, at a tender age of 20, Washington faced an enigmatic affliction, ruthlessly claiming his teeth one by one. As he assumed the presidency in 1789, a lone tooth definitely clung, underscoring the impact on his appearance. In pursuit of resolution, Washington turned to Dr. John Greenwood, a dentistry pioneer. Contrary to popular belief, Washington's dentures were not hewn from wood. Greenwood, displaying ingenuity, fashioned 4 dentures for the president using a mosaic of materials: hippo bones, elephant ivory, and even human bones. Anchored by a golden plate, this intricate amalgamation marked a dentistry milestone, illustrating Greenwood's pioneering role in crafting dental prostheses from ivory. The government once poisoned alcohol. In 1926, the U.S. government grappled with rising alcohol consumption during Prohibition through a questionable method, a so-called noble experiment. This initiative involved spiking alcohol with harmful chemicals, including increased methanol, benzene, and mercury. The intent was to deter drinking, but in hindsight, it proved disastrous. Rather than reducing alcohol intake, people were more determined to obtain any available booze, even the dangerously poisoned concoctions. The repercussions were devastating, with 41 lives lost at New York's Bellevue Hospital by 1927 due to alcohol-related poisonings. The damage extended beyond Prohibition's end in 1933, revealing that the federal poisoning program inadvertently claimed around 10,000 lives. This serves as a poignant reminder of how good intentions can lead to tragic outcomes, prompting reflection on the unintended consequences of the so-called noble experiment. The misunderstood symbol. The Statue of Liberty, an iconic symbol standing proudly in the harbor, is commonly linked with immigration due to its proximity to Ellis Island, a historic gateway for immigrants. However, the statue's origins tell a different story. Initially conceived to embody the spirit of enlightenment, Liberty wielded a torch symbolizing the illumination of knowledge and a tablet marking the date of American independence. This grand gesture was a gift from France to the United States, commemorating the centennial of American independence and fostering enduring friendship. The association between liberty and immigration deepened with Emma Lazarus' poem, The New Colossus, finding a home on the statue's pedestal. In her verses, Liberty transformed into the nurturing mother of exiles, expanding the narrative beyond mere symbolism. The exploration into the statue's history serves as a poignant reminder that our perception of history can be shaped by misconceptions, exaggerations, or overlooked details. The Trail of Tears. In the early 1800s, during Andrew Jackson's presidency, a heart-wrenching event unfolded: the forced removal of Native American nations from their southeastern homes to areas west of the Mississippi River. The Trail of Tears, a tragic episode, remains a dark chapter in American history. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 granted the government authority to seize lands held by Native Americans in the eastern cotton-growing regions, exchanging them for lands in the west, designated as the Indian Colonization Zone. However, this exchange was no mere transaction. It was a brutal and unjust act executed by the U.S. military. Members of the Cherokee, Muskogee Creek, the Seminole, Chickasaw, and Choctaw nations endured forced removal, marching thousands of miles in harsh conditions with inefficient supplies. This arduous journey resulted in widespread disease, starvation, and death, claiming the lives of an estimated 4,000 relocated Cherokee people. The impact extended beyond the loss of lives, encompassing the devastation of ancestral lands and a way of life for Native American nations. The not-so-glamorous life of pirates. Pirates, often depicted as daring adventurers in pursuit of hidden treasures, present a far less glamorous reality. The truth of their existence is marked by hardship, peril, and constant challenges. Seafaring outcasts battle storms, engaged in fights, and face shipwrecks, transforming the pirate's life into a dangerous affair. A surprising twist lay in their form of democracy. Pirate ships elected captains and quartermasters through crew votes, a stark departure from the rigid hierarchies on naval and merchant vessels. Despite romanticized notions of buried treasure and exotic adventures, most pirates endured a grueling and often violent existence at sea, concluding in demise or imprisonment. The Little Ice Age. From 133 to 1850, a span not confined to antiquity, but a chilling reality ingrained in the lives of those enduring it. The anticipated warmth of summer metamorphosed into a relentless European cold, an anomalous chill persisting through the 17th century. Years of harsh cold decimated agricultural yields, inducing famine as once hospitable landscapes turned hostile. Animals succumbed, and the human toll remained mysterious. Some perished from hunger, others from diseases, and many from hypothermia. Scientists attribute this Little Ice Age to a Gulf Stream deceleration and heightened volcanic activity affecting solar output. The Great Emu War of Australia. In the 1930s, Australia faced an unconventional conflict dubbed the Great Emu War, highlighting that battles extend beyond human realms. Post-World War I, the country grappled with an agricultural crisis exacerbated by an unexpected foe: emus. These large, flightless birds disrupted newly cultivated lands in Western Australia, prompting ex-soldier farmers to seek government aid. Deploying a small military force armed with machine guns, the government aimed to control the emu population. However, the resilient and swift birds proved formidable, leading to public discontent and the operation's withdrawal. Eventually, a more effective bounty system was adopted to manage the emu population. Bengal Famine of 1943. The Bengal Famine of 1943 stands as stark evidence of man-made catastrophes, claiming an unfathomable 2 to 3 million lives. In the 20th century, it transcended nature's cruelty or crop failure, emerging as a harrowing consequence of wartime policies by the British administration. During World War II in Bengal, flourishing rice crops promised sustenance, but the British Empire's scorched earth policy, driven by fears of a Japanese invasion, turned prosperity into peril. Crucial boats and bullocks for food distribution were ruthlessly seized and destroyed, prioritizing military needs over the local food supply, triggering acute shortages. Relief efforts lagged due to wartime demands and British officials' negligence, forcing significant measures only in late 1943. Pope Gregory IX declared war on cats. In the curious tapestry of human-animal relationships, cats have evoked varied reactions, from adoration to astonishing discord. A peculiar episode unfurled in the 13th century when Pope Gregory IX, steering the papal ship, embarked on a bizarre crusade against cats. The instigator was Conrad of Marburg, the papal inquisitor, who, in allegiance to the Pope, forced confessions from tortured souls, suggesting unholy alliances between cats and the devil. These coerced emissions fueled a Catholic hostility towards cats, especially the anonymous black ones between 1227 and 1221. The prevailing belief held that these sleek creatures harbored the malevolent spirit of Satan. The years 1233 and 1234 marked a dark chapter in history, with a mass purge of cats orchestrated by the church faithful. History of the English language. The history of the English language, tracing the footprints of the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes in the ancient landscape of the British Isles during the 450s AD. The English, a linguistic forebearer, emerged a linguistic thread, unfurled through the ages, revealing a captivating transformation of the English language which followed three distinct acts: Old English, Middle English, and Modern English. The 10th century ushered a pivotal moment when Normandy and England collided, birthing a linguistic fusion in the crucible of shared governance. Middle English, the ensuing chapter, showcased the indelible influence of Norman Idylls, a dance with Old English that etched its mark on the language's very essence. Fast forward to the era of Shakespeare, a turning point where the linguistic landscape throbbed with newfound vitality. Shakespeare, the true master of the English language, shaped its form with the introduction of over 1,200 novel words. Now modern English is a language now spoken by over 2 billion people globally, transcending boundaries and cultures. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for all future updates. See you next time.